Okay, so the next section is about Dalton's atomic theory. So Dalton came up with this theory of atoms in 1808, and he published um, the theory in a new system of chemical philosophy. So this theory is the way that he thought that atoms work. So each element is made up of tiny particles called atoms. Atoms of a given element are identical. So they have the same mass, the same size, and the same chemical properties. Atoms of different elements are different in some fundamental way or ways. So, for example, if you had two iron atoms, if I could draw the same size circle, they would be the same size, mass, and have the same chemical properties. But if you had something like iron compared to carbon, let me draw it a little bit smaller. So these would have different masses, different sizes, and chemical properties. Okay. So the next part of his atomic theory said that chemical compounds are formed when atoms of different elements combine with each other. And in addition to that, a given compound always has the same relative numbers and types of atoms. So a compound like water would always have two hydrogens and one oxygen. Now, when Dalton studied this before, he actually assumed that nature was really simple and the formula for water was OH. So, in Dalton's theory, we now know that hydrogen or water has two hydrogens and one oxygen. However, Dalton thought that the chemical formula for water was OH, just based on these assumptions. But compounds mean that there are two or more different types of elements, and they always have the same relative number and types of atoms. So he thought water always had one oxygen and one hydrogen, but now we know that water always has two hydrogens and one oxygen. And the last part of Dalton's atomic theory is that chemical reactions involve reorganization of the atoms. So they change in the way that they're bound together. They don't, the atoms themselves are not changed.